What's going on, fellow gamblers? Welcome back to Straight Betting, Week 4 NFL. Got my guy, Joel, in the house. Joel, how we doing today?
Doing good. Coming off a loss, but so far this season has been pretty good to me. So
Yeah, we both didn't exactly have a great Thursday night football. I really didn't see many people with like winning slips. I'm kind of pissed that I didn't play like that Dortch line, dude. Like honestly, like I played like Michael Wilson, dude. If I saw that Dortch 1.5 reception one, I would have so played that shit over like some
dude, it was
bullshit.
like screen after screen after screen to him.
Yeah, like he literally got there from like screens. So yeah, I
mean,
wish I
Kyler
got that
dropped
one.
back and threw it 41 times. I still don't know how your bet doesn't go over when he's throwing that many times.
Dude, he played like
My
I'm not
bet
even
was dead
kidding.
from the jump.
I think Michael Wilson. I'm gonna check what his snap rate was, dude. I never like looked up on my screen and saw him not on the field. I wonder what his snap rate was. And he
Oh,
got
that
6
had to be
targets.
super high.
Bro, it was 97%, and he didn't even go over.
That's insane.
So yeah,
Hey, buy again next week.
yeah, dude, we'll see. Anyways, Joel, let's start. Let's just give out some damn props. That's what the people are here for. Do you have anything for this early game, Pittsburgh versus
I
Minnesota?
do not currently have anything
Okay.
for that game.
Okay, then I will indeed go first. I'm typing them in as we go. But what's your take on this game? Do you have any like opinion? Just because it's an island
Yeah,
game.
I mean, we know that the Vikings are going to blitz the shit out of them, and I don't know, like these foreign games always get super weird. I always feel like they end up way more low scoring and like way less big plays for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just the teams that have been playing over there the last couple of years, but that's just kind of the vibe I get off of these European games.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I hope that's the case because Joel, here are my 2 plays. I played Aaron Rodgers under 204.5 passing yards, and I also played Steelers team total under 19.5 points. So Rodgers looks like, I mean, this line might have got like pulled real quick. It's like 202, 203 is like whatever. It's the same shit. I mean, hopefully he doesn't like end at like 204. But
Split it down the
Joel,
middle.
this year, Aaron Rodgers, when under pressure, is 3 for 19. He's averaging 3.1 yards per attempt. The Vikings obviously have the best pressure rate in the league under Brian Flores. They're only the 3rd fewest passing yards per game. They're 4th in passing defense DVOA, 1st in passing defense EPA. And Aaron Rodgers, he's so damn old, he can't move anymore. Like him under pressure has been legitimately brutal this year. Last year they played against Brian Flores, and yes, he did have 244 passing yards, dude, but that was on 54 passing attempts when he was like running the offense. Only 4.5 yards per attempt though against the Vikings, which I think is key. If we look here at his passing attempts line, FanDuel has it at -110, so actually a little bit juiced to the under at 30.5. I mean, like with 30.5 passing attempts, you'd need 6.72 yards per attempt. Like I said, he's at 3.1 under pressure this year. It was at 4.1 against Brian Flores last year. His weapons, I think, absolutely stink around him. So yeah, man, I'm taking Rodgers under passing attempts, dude, or under 204.5 passing yards. I think it's going to be tough. I think they're going to be looking at this stuff and see how bad Rodgers is under pressure, and probably just like blitz him like every single play, dude. Like genuinely. And then for like the overall offense, I mean, the Steelers like I don't think so. I obviously don't think that they're going to be able to pass the ball, but like Jalen Warren's like injured. He's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. Like Kenneth Gainwell is getting a ton of work. He's not a good running back. He's at 3.4 yards per carry. Like, dude, I think the run game is going to be like mid no matter what. So like run game mid to below average. Passing game I think is going to be shit. So I'm taking their under at 19.5 points. I think they've kind of fluked their way into stuff with like turnovers and that's how they've like been okay at scoring points this year. But I think it's going to be brutal for them against the Brian Flores in this defense.
Yeah, and especially when his top receiver, like this is like the worst possible matchup for DK Metcalf, I feel like, because Rodgers isn't going to have the time to just like load it up and like launch the ball down the field. And he's not even good at doing that anyways. So like that just kind of takes his top option out of the game. I was thinking, unders for him as well, DK Metcalf. But yeah, no, I can definitely get behind both of those. This is going to be a brutal. You also have like to throw in like the fact that they're traveling to Europe, which just like throws everyone's rhythm off. They're playing at a completely different time, so I can definitely get behind both of those.
Yeah. And Vikings too. The reason, so like you guys are thinking like, why would you not take completions under? And like when he's like 3 for 19 under pressure.
Yeah.
The Vikings, like they play just like zone. They do these weird zone blitzes. They allow the fifth lowest explosive pass play. So I just don't think shit's gonna happen downfield. So obviously he's gonna regress towards the mean a little bit with like the numbers under pressure.
Yeah,
I'd hope.
sure.
Unless
Dump
he's
off
gonna
to like
cover.
Warren and Calvin Austin could be there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking under yards, under points. I think it's going to be ugly for the Steelers, but the Steelers are also like the most likely team to like bullshit their way into like a defensive touchdown. Like, oh,
It's
Wentz
so
fumbled a
annoying.
snap and they're at the 5-yard line. Like, I
It's
get
so
so upset.
annoying, dude. As a Browns fan, that just drives me insane. They're the
Yeah,
luckiest team, I swear.
the voodoo for Tomlin.
It's insane.
But yeah, those are my first two plays. Joel, hit us with your first play.
Yeah, so my first play, I'm gonna go with Jalen Tolbert over 2.5 receptions. I got this at minus 121 at DK. Obviously, we know no CD Lamb, and I think that's huge. Just following the routes here, 87% of the routes last week, led the entire team, played more than George Pickens, played more than Ferg. So, without CD Lamb in the mix, and if you just throw with Dak Prescott up there, last year he had a pretty good rapport with Dak. Yeah, take CD off, and then just bring his snap percentage up. You'll see like he covers this a lot, and I'm expecting a pretty strong passing script here. With the Cowboys likely playing from behind, likely not able to really get the run game going. But if he's going to run that many routes, I just have a hard time seeing how he doesn't come down with 3 receptions here.
Yeah, this is something I actually like did not think about whatsoever. But there's another nugget that I heard that I think supports this too. So yeah, I got 6 targets last game. So Schottenheimer came out and said that like George Pickens is gonna like play the same role. So George Pickens is obviously like the downfield threat on this team. Most of his routes are downfield. Tolbert last year was the downfield guy, so he would be like a higher ADOT. But if Pickens is still running mainly downfield, that means that Tolbert's probably going to take up like intermediate stuff. And yeah, Packers are a team that allows a ton of like stuff underneath. They shut down the run. They don't allow explosive pass plays. It's all underneath passing. Obviously, should be a very good volume game for Dak. They're probably going to lose this game by margin, I think. Their defense stinks. Packers should be up a lot. Cowboys should not be able to run. Yeah, I like this dude. I actually like. I just like don't think to bet on Jalen Tolbert, but he's going to be a very full-time receiver.
Yeah, 87% of snaps, and then last week he actually did have a 7-yard ADOT, so like that's perfect. Those are going to be like high quality targets. I think Ferg probably ends up leading the team in targets.
Yep.
But like I don't see Pickens like getting like a ton of targets as like you said, like as a downfield threat. So I think those games with Dak that you had up there, those were with CD Lamb. So like when you take out a target monster like CD Lamb, there's just more to go around. And so I just think I think it's just going to be it's going to be tough for him not to get to 3 at least.
Dude, this is actually like a great bet, like genuinely. Yeah, because these are, let's see, like without Lamb. I mean, yeah, those are all with Lamb. Yeah, that's a really good bet, bro. Especially given that he had a 7-8 out last week too. Like,
and you're getting a really, really solid price too. Like I would have expected this to be more. I know Turpin is 2.5 super juiced over.
He's
and I
a
get that
player,
too,
bro.
because they're gonna design stuff for him. But I mean, like there's too many like passing volume to go around here. Somebody's line is too low, and I think it's Tolbert.
Yeah, dude, this is actually a great bet. Like really, really under the radar stuff, but that's like the type of stuff that I think personally has the value and stuff. So okay. No, that's a good one, man. I was not expecting to hear some Jalen Tolbert
Jalen
buzz
Tolbert.
on at 9 p.m. on a Friday night, but shoot, dude, I think you got a winner, so that's some good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna double dip too because I'm kind of like putting like my nuts on the line a little bit today because I have I'm like correlating like 1 unit plays, not like oh wow, dude, you're correlating 1 unit plays, like, but I have two back to back here, and I'm typing it up. I should have typed this up before, dude. Okay. Where is this? Okay. Finally, there we go. It's two-legger, so it was a lot of typing in and two plays. First one, I'm going with Amari and Hampton over 65.5 rushing yards. I think this one moved a little bit, unfortunately. Let's see what it's at right now. Rushing yards. Looks like it's at 69.5, 68.5. So I'd probably scale down to like 0.75 at this current number, to be honest with you. But honestly, Joel, I'm not going to like overthink this dude. Like in week 1 with basically no Najee, he got 15 out of 16 running back rushing attempts. When Najee went down in week 3, I think, Hampton was at like 7 or 8 carries or something. He ended up with 19 carries and no one else got another touch. So this dude is like a workhorse. I mean, dude, like, yes, he hasn't been impressive so far this year. At the end of the day, when I watch him play, he looks fine to me. Like, he doesn't look like dusty or anything to me. So he has been, inefficient, but he's probably going to get like 85 to 90% of the running back rushing attempts. And they're playing against Jackson Dart, who's making his first ever NFL start. The Chargers defense has been very good to start the year. Like, this should be a very positive game script. And, on top of all that, like, Giants are last in DVOA against the run, 29th and 30th in EPA and success rate against the run. Like, the Chargers have been so pass heavy. It's a perfect spot for them to tone down the passing a little bit, feed Hampton. Dude, I think he probably gets like 18 or 19 carries. Like, he really should be at like 4 clip against his defense too. So I think that this is a pretty damn low line.
I think 4 clip feels like a minimum here too. Like, the Giants' rush defense is actually just atrocious somehow with like how good that defensive line is. So yeah, I mean, I definitely can get behind this. I've seen a lot of people back in this as well. The only concern I would have about this one is like the Chargers just love to throw the ball a zillion times and just not hand it off, which scares me. As an Amari and Hampton fantasy football owner too, like the first 3 weeks of the season, like I'm watching them and I'm just pulling my hair out, just saying, hand it off. You know what I mean? Just a couple of times. But yeah, so I mean, I still like it though. Like you said, the volume's there. Like, there's going to be a ton of volume because there's just nobody else to really run the ball there. I thought about his longest rush because I think the Giants are also like susceptible to some explosive runs. So I think you can get some chunks in there too. So love it.
Yeah. And then staying on par, I'm banking on a little bit of regression coming Quentin Johnston's way personally. Yeah, dude, he's clearly taken a leap, but Joel, at the end of the season, when we look back at like how the season went, like, in my opinion, I want your take on this. I think it's like he's gonna be the number 3 in targets, like pretty obviously behind Keenan and Ladd when we like look back on the season. Do you disagree on that, or do you think that
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So basically, how I read this, like, of course, yes, the Chargers have been super pass heavy. Like I said, it's a perfect game state for them to like tone it back a little bit. I mean, let's not forget who like Harbaugh and Roman have been their entire career, right? If they're running the ball, I think that they'll want to keep on running it, and if they're running it well. And then yeah, man. So it's like you're kind of, in my opinion, you're getting like a downfield, mainly wide receiver 3 at a 4.5 reception line. Like, I will happily fade this. He's been borderline flawless to start the year, had 5 receptions, 3 receptions, 6 receptions. Like, it wouldn't be surprising, even if he had like an 8-target game, which I do not expect whatsoever. But like, it wouldn't be surprising if he caught like 4 balls, given where his targets are coming at, given who Quentin Johnston has been throughout his career, with the hands issues and stuff. So I'm just selling high on QJ. I think it's a good spot, given like how they should be able to run the ball, the game script, stuff like that. And then I just added Nick Chubb. And honestly, guys, if I could go back and do this, I've actually gotten this line move against me a little bit. I'd probably just play under 4.5 receptions at minus 135 instead of adding another leg to get it down to minus 112. But I did add Nick Chubb to get 25 plus rushing yards. I mean, this is another one. I'm just not going to overthink it too much. Texans are probably going to want to run the show of the ball here, trust their defense. They're playing the Titans, who stink. It's a 7.5 point spread. Tennessee, they're like allowing the second highest yards per carry to running backs. Chubb in a positive game script, I think, should be pretty safe with touches, even though, Marks has been getting involved. But yeah, what are your thoughts on, I guess, like this play overall, the Chubb juice reducer leg? Do you think it should be pretty safe, or what's your take on that?
I mean, Nick Chubb's a Cleveland Browns legend, so I could never say anything bad about him. So, I mean, I think he gets that done easy. I don't even think you have to worry about that one. And then, yeah, I agree with your analysis on Quentin Johnson. I think over the course of the season, that's like his target share is going to come down. Lads is probably going to come up. I think there's a regression due for both of those guys. So I can definitely get behind that. And, if it's a run heavy script, I think, Herbert's not throwing as much. Yeah, I mean, I think you have a great bet there.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, Joel, hit us with play number 2.
All right, play number 2 for me is going to be Drake London over 5.5 receptions. I got this at minus 105 at DraftKings. It was also at MGM 365. I think you can get it at plus 115 on Hard Rock right now. But he's been struggling to start the year. Started out the season 15 targets week 1. And I think this Commanders secondary is pretty brutal. They're a little beat up too. Jordan Love threw for 292, Geno 289. So I think this is a good bounce back spot for Penix, who was just disastrous last week. And I think one thing that he's shown over his 6 starts in the NFL is he'll hyper target on London when he can. And I think this is a matchup when he definitely can. So I went back and I just looked at his 6 starts. Week 16 in 2024, 40% targets per route run for London. Week 17, 36% targets per route run for London. Week 18 was 47%. And then to start this season was 42%. So 4 out of the 6 games, he's had above a 35% targets per route run. Week 2, that dipped to 17%. Week 3 was 21%. But, these are low ADOT throws too. His ADOT's 7.5. So I think they're pretty catchable. And then Washington's a kind of a man-heavy team. And last season, London had a 41% targets per route run rate against man defense. That went up to 50% whenever Penix was throwing the ball. So I just think this is a really nice get right spot for Drake London. And a 5.5, you see it right there, minus 102. You wouldn't be getting this, a couple weeks ago. So I think buying the dip here on London feels like a nice play.
Yeah, I like that you're buying the dip on him. I know that the Commanders blitz a ton too, and a lot of the times that can lead to just getting the ball out to your first read. I don't have the first read numbers in front of me right now, but I do think that makes sense. I think that they're also prone to explosive plays. I know it's not Trey Tucker have some big plays, so I would not hate to go an over on yards here either personally. The one thing, Joel, I do think I think that this is just a huge bounce back game for the Falcons. I think I kind of think that they win outright. I think that Mariota's going to regress, and then I think that the Falcons play good. So I wouldn't. I know the Commanders' run defense has been pretty good, but I do kind of think that the attempts are going to be there for the Falcons on the ground. But overall, on your take, I think this is going to be a London game. They're blitzing a ton. I think it's going to be get it out to someone quick. Mooney's a downfield guy. Pitts is not going to beat man coverage quick. Honestly, I don't really think that that's his game. So I think it's going to be. I do agree with the massive London target share aspect with this for sure. And I think he's also, like I said, like we talked about with Nico, he's a great receiver, and he's coming off some shit games. And the number is so clearly reflecting that. So definitely a fan of that. Joel, this is going to be my play for this game. I don't have it official because it's not up yet on most books, but I'm probably going to buy low on Tyler Algier, either on rushing attempts and rushing yards. I mean, it was like 16 attempts to 22 in week 2, and then in week 1 it was 12 to 10. So, and then the terrible game script, right? Like, of course, it's just going to be Bijan in that, and a game that they lose. So I think it's like a great buy low on Algier. So that's probably who my buy low is going to be once we get a widely available number.
Makes a ton of sense.
Okay. Let's go on to my next one. Okay, Joel, this one's weird, and this one actually is going to stay where it was, because I thought that there was a chance that this dude was going to get ruled out, and it was going to be this one was just going to be like a smash and just like crazy CLV. Didn't get that, but yeah, this one's going to be fun. I think you think you might like this one. So I'm rolling with Tutu Atwell to get 25 plus receiving yards. It's only 0.35 units on that, and then 0.15 on him to get 40 plus yards. So look, this sounds gross, but Adams is dealing with a hamstring injury. He missed the first 2. He practiced limited. I don't know if you looked at like how he was running. Dude, this dude was like looking like shit. So I think that Adams unders are like an amazing look. It's probably going to be a huge Nakua game. But even Tutu, like, look, I'm risking 0.5 units on it. He has done absolutely nothing this year. He still played 38% of the snaps, 43%, 42%. I think that there's a chance that we see Adams just as a pure decoy, and Tutu just gets like a target or 2 downfield, and maybe he cashes on that. Like I've said, Joel, honestly, I was banking on Adams maybe missing this one, but I do think it's like still worth a nibble. Don't really have like much like matchup stuff. Just think that he's a guy who whenever Tutu gets an opportunity, he's pretty damn good. If we see a snap share like rise to like 40% or 40% plus, it's been pretty bad, but like for the most part, like he's actually been like pretty good. He's just always the guy who like kind of produces like when he gets a chance. And I kind of think that he just gets that chance here. Still have a chance that Adams misses the game. Of course, you have with a hamstring, you have a chance that he just like re-injures it like mid-game. So yeah, definitely like a little bit risky here, but I'm nibbling it. If he gets a shot downfield, he could catch this with one target.
You're saying you didn't expect to hear Jalen Tolbert, and I'm telling you right now, I didn't expect to hear Tutu Atwell's name. Yeah, like Adams is questionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, like there's still the chance. I mean, with hamstrings, you never really want to be pretty cautious with those. So I wouldn't even be surprised to see him late roll out.
I'm pretty surprised that like he's even trying to play. Like, just like if you get a hamstring, you should sit out the week. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like that just seems like a recipe for disaster. Like it always is. So I'm just taking a shot here, man. Like I said, I could look like an absolute idiot. Joel, I also think that I might just like continue my theme of like doubling down on shit and like taking Adams under 5.5 receptions. Like, dude, I'm telling you, Joel, look up a video of Devontae Adams at practice today and like tell me how he looks. Like he looks like shit. I don't know, like he's had 4, 6, and 3. I mean, he's had like a terrible catch rate, so he's probably due a little bit of regression on that basis. But I mean, dude, like I just think that this is a good bet just to fade Adams. Maybe even make like a correlated, like Adams gets hurt under 2.5 receptions, 240 plus yards. Dude, I could probably get like a pretty damn good payout.
That definitely would.
So, yeah. Okay. Weird one, I know. Maybe I'm just donating money here for a dude who like.
I mean, you're putting half a unit and you're getting really good odds. So I mean, we definitely can't blame you there.
Yeah, and then
that's one thing we've been doing more this year too. Is like attacking these. Like they're gonna. It's a more risky spot. You're getting a 5-1, and you're getting like a 2.5 to 1. So I mean, it just takes one deep shot too. Like even with Adams in the game, it takes one deep shot.
100%. All right, Joel, hit us with another one. This video is probably going to take a long ass time, but screw it. We're just giving no props.
Yeah, so my next one's going to be DeAndre Hopkins under 1.5 receptions. I played that at -118 on FanDuel. I think it's getting pretty juicy now. But like it's just the routes aren't there, dude. If he's gonna catch 2 balls on 8 routes, like and get catch both of his targets, his ADOT's 19.5 right now. Like I watched the Browns game where he caught 2. Like they were ridiculous catches, both of them in the end zone. So I mean, I'll play this every single week, and I'm thinking this is gonna win like 12 out of 16 times.
Yep. I agree with you, dude. Yeah, this is a great bet, dude. 25% of the snaps. He had like a terrible route participation last week too. I mean, 10 snaps, 18 snaps. Like, yeah, I agree completely. And his catches have been like insane. And I still think DeAndre Hopkins actually like can play a little bit.
Sure.
But they're not playing him, which is the problem. So
Exactly.
and Isaiah Likely's probably going to be back too. So whatever amount of 2 tight ends they were running, it's probably going to go up, or it is going to go up.
And they had to throw a ton last game too. He still only ran 8 routes. I mean, it's like that. Those are terrible numbers. If you're going to catch, he can have a 25% target share on 8 routes, and that's still only 2 targets. Is he going to catch both those targets? I mean, that's difficult. And you're asking for a 33-year-old to have a 25% target share on the routes he runs. So,
yeah,
I think this should have been, like minus 160 to open. So, I mean, when I saw it at minus 118, I just had to jump on that one.
Yeah. No, that's a good bet, bro. That's a real good bet. Okay. Next one, I'm going with Jalen Hurts over 188.5 passing yards. Look, dude, like there was after the game, like the quotes were like ripping into Patullo. Like AJ Brown was like, "Yeah, dude, like why don't we just play like this all the time?" I think Hurts had something like that too. Like they can still pass the damn ball, and of course they can because they have a great offensive line. They have 2 great receivers and a solid tight end. So look, Joel, I'm about to filter this because this is kind of bullshit. Obviously, he's passing way less than he used to. His passing attempt line I lean over on. It's at 26.5, juice to the over, 27.5 in some places. So basically like 27 passing attempts. With 22 to 30 passing attempts with Brown, Smith, and Goddard, he's over in 7 out of 9 games. So yes, he's kind of just like squeaking over on some of them, but at the same time, dude, it's like dude, these weapons are good. Like they're going to be efficient when they pass. Like Saquon also has really not been that good this year. Like another reason to pass the ball more. I mean, Saquon's played Dallas. Who else? KC and the Rams. Like Dallas sucks, but the other 2 are good run defenses. But still, he's at 3.3 yards per carry. Now they're going up against Tampa, who's along the 3rd lowest yards per carry to running backs. They're 1st in EPA against the run, 2nd in success rate. You get it. They're a really good run defense. So, I mean, and they're 20th in dropback EPA, despite playing Penix, Stroud, and Tyrod. Not exactly great quarterbacks or anything. So like they're a below average pass defense and an elite run defense. Like, please just pass the damn ball. And I seriously think that like it's just like common sense, bro. Like if they like come out and are just conservative as shit, like I don't know like what to say. This is like a super low line, and it's a good matchup. And is there anything else I have to say on this? I think that they're all healthy. And like the Bucks shouldn't just be like some like rollovers. I mean, the Bucks at home, like they shouldn't like lose by margin here. I don't think. I know they're pretty banged up, but they're getting Wirfs back, I believe. I mean, they're a good team. Like they shouldn't lose by like 3 touchdowns or something. So yeah, Hurts over 188.5 passing yards. Please change your philosophy this week.
I think that's an amazing bet, man. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get much going on the run with the run this week. So definitely feel that they're forced to pass. And I agree with you. I think that even his attempts, like I like his over on attempts. And if he's getting over 28 passing attempts, he should absolutely have over 188 passing yards. So love that.
Yep. I also don't even hate like a Barkley under 18.5 attempts. Like quietly, like I remember watching week 1 and seeing Will Shipley be involved a little bit. And I always thought he was pretty good coming out of Clemson. But Will Shipley got hurt super early in that game, and now he's back. He could, maybe get like 4 carries or something, which is like more than like the backups are getting it now. And maybe, just like a change of philosophy, a tough matchup. I could see like Saquon. I actually do kind of like this under 18.5 attempts for Barkley as well.
Yeah, I don't think his usage is going to be as ridiculous as it was last season. I think they want to try to keep him healthy.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Joel, next prop, hit us with it.
Yes, so this is my last one. I played Juju Smith-Schuster under 21.5 receiving yards. Well, I played under 23.5, but I'm going to track it at 21.5. That was the most common line out there when I posted it. So Juju Smith-Schuster under 21.5 passing yards. The thing is, Xavier Worthy's back this week. I saw videos of him, on the practice field. He was like flinging his arms around. So like that shoulder looks pretty dang healthy to me. And straight up, I think Juju is the odd man out here. I think his snaps probably drop down to like 30%. I think they really like what they have with Hollywood Brown. I think they really like what they have with Tyquan Thornton, like just taking the top off the defense. And I think they want to be more explosive. Juju's, he's not that guy, and he's getting up there in age, and he's, yeah, I think he gets like 30% of the snaps. So even dating back to last year, if you filtered to just 30 to 70% of the snaps, which is like, that's seriously overperforming what I think he's going to get with Worthy back. You can see, with Mahomes. You can see he's under in 10 out of 14. And so the thing is here as well, 5-yard ADOT. So in order to get over 21.5 yards, Juju's not a yak guy. Like he's not going to catch and run for a bunch of yards. You would think he'd have to get four or five catches, or like just have like a busted coverage, or he's going to catch like a 10-yard pass or whatever. But I'm loving this one. The cherry on top is that the Ravens run a ton of man. And then I went back and looked at Juju's targets per route run against man last year. Dude, 6% targets per route run against man. So I think this is a brutal spot for Juju.
Yeah. Dude, that's a smart bet. Tyquan Thornton has played way too good to take him off the field, like genuinely.
Agreed.
Like he's
100%.
And I think it's best to, like, if when they use, I don't think Worthy and Hollywood are actually, and it sounds weird saying this with Worthy, but Worthy's not at his best when you're just like making him run wind sprints. And same with Hollywood. Like they need to work like underneath and get yak and stuff, like especially Worthy.
Agreed.
I think that Worthy actually, like, depending on his shoulder, if he's fully healthy, man, like I think that he could easily get like 6 or 7 receptions here.
I think so too.
But it obviously depends on health. Like, I mean, we saw how Worthy was used at the end of the last year. So, and year two, we were all thinking he was going to take a little bit of a leap. So, yeah, no, I agree with that analysis completely. I think the man stuff is like you said, a cherry on top. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a great bet, man. That's a great bet. Okay, I got 3 more props, dude. I actually didn't realize that I had so many bets. Jeez, dude.
Oh, I do have one more actually, but it's the same as one that you have. So
okay. Okay, let me type this up. So I'm going over to Vegas. I'm buying low on this dude. I had this one circled from last week after I saw his performance. I think this is a great buy spot. Brock Bowers over 56.5 receiving yards. Look, he obviously had his knee injury was pretty serious and was playing through it. Maybe it's still affecting him a little bit, but he's now 2 weeks removed off the knee issue. So you're just getting a nice buy low, I think, off of that, right? Like, you can actually like justify, why he had some down performances. I didn't even mention this in my write-up, but sneakily, Michael Mayer, he got like concussed really badly and is out, and like he was just like randomly like taking away like snaps from him and stuff. So probably gonna get like close to 100% of the snaps for Bowers. I mean, like look at this Patriots game, dude. Like 51% of the snaps. Like you're probably gonna get close to 100% snaps for Bowers here now without Mayer, which it's ridiculous that he wasn't close to 100% anyways, given like his talent. But also the Bears, like they're allowing the highest target share in the NFL to tight ends. I mean, overall they're third worst in pass defense EPA too, only behind Dallas and Miami. So it's just like a really good matchup, I think, for Bowers and a great buy low spot. What's your take on this one?
yeah, I mean, I bet this one too. I got the exact same bet. So I mean, I love this one. Ferg had like 14 targets last week, if that tells you anything. And then on top of that, like you're getting, like I think on a week to week basis, Bauer's line should almost be like at least equivalent or probably maybe even higher than Jacoby Myers. Like I think he's at
He's
the end
better
of the
than
season, he ends up the number one option on this team.
yeah.
And yeah, 2 full practices this week after he was limited last week, signals to me that, you know, that knee is getting way healthier. So, yeah, it's an amazing buy low spot, I think, too.
Dude, I do
Huge,
not
huge
care.
QB upgrade, too. So, like, these charts, while, you know, they tell some story, none of these were with Geno. And Geno's just significantly better player than anyone that Bowers played with last year. So, I think that even gives him a bump.
Yep, agreed. And dude, I don't care how many fantasy points and yards Trey Tucker had last week, dude. Trey Tucker being 11, 12 yards lower than Brock Bowers is
It's
laughable.
crazy.
Like,
It's crazy.
Brock Bowers is like the clear buy here in this offense. I mean, Gino, what is his passing yards at? Like 250, and you're putting Brock Bowers like for like 20% of his yards. Like, dude, that's a joke. Like,
I
he's way better.
want a spot to fade Trey Tucker too, because
Yeah.
his targets have been ridiculous the last couple weeks. But I mean, we know who this guy is, and it's not that guy.
He's not that guy. He's not that guy, pal. Okay, Joel. I think you're gonna like this one. This one's pretty simple. I'm not even gonna like waste too much time on this. I took David Montgomery under 12.5 on his longest rush. For some reason, it's like super juiced at 13.5. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, this is 13.5. He actually ended at 13 of like 5 times. So, or what was it? Yeah, 4 times. So, but still, that was last year longest rush. Now he's playing the Browns, dude. I mean, out of Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, and Chase Brown, the longest rush out of those 3 running backs, including Derrick fucking Henry, has been 8 yards. So, dude, David Montgomery, like, yeah, he had those explosives. I don't care. Like, great. Like, I'm glad he had a good game, actually, because now we're getting, like, a pretty high line. I am a little bit scared to just, like, take the yards under. I prefer the longest rush under just because it wouldn't shock me if, like the Browns kind of just like shit the bed and like lose by a lot, and you know you're getting like 12 to 14 carries or something for him. But even if that's the case, like dude, he probably needs like 13 carries to go over this line. So, and I guess that's my voice.
I'm fully expecting the Browns to shit the bed this week. By the way, like I've seen this so many times where like you know that defense is amazing, then they get onto like artificial turf and people are just like I promise you Jameis Williams is going 65 for at least one this week. This is a great bet too. Like that run defense is something so serious right now. That front is super good, and you know that like they're just shutting everyone down. So you can't even argue with this one.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, like I said, I just don't think like if like the Browns finally cracked and gave up like an explosive run, you know, you'd think it would be to Gibbs and
Sure.
even though that wasn't the case last week. So, yeah. All right, staying in the same game. This is my last prop, and then I guess Joel, you can finish with yours. Just we'll talk about that one for like. Actually, you want to talk about yours real quick? The one that moved a ton.
Oh, sure, yeah. So I played Jackson Dart over 24.5 rushing yards. It's at like 34.5 now. But you know, that's just like an endorsement that you should put my notifications on Twitter. Because I posted it and it, you know, it jumped immediately. But yeah, like he's getting designed runs already in their offense. Like they have special packages for him before he even became the starter. So, you know, designed runs. And then in college, I went back and looked at his college scramble rate, 9.6%. Very comparable to Drake May, who was at 10.7%. May was over 25 rushing yards and 8 out of 11 starts last year, and they weren't designing stuff for him. So I think
literally weren't at all. Like I don't think he had a design.
It was straight off of scrambling. So I think that was a ridiculously bad line for Dart. I love the over 5.5 rushing attempts too. Yeah.
I might play this honestly.
Even the 6.5,
yeah, plus 120. Yeah, I might go back and play this guy. So that's why I wanted to talk about this because I think it's just a great bet, and I think like yeah, it sucks like knowing you lost like a ton of value. But yeah, like I think Dart might be like close to like a 40 rushing yard game guy maybe, and that sounds high, but I mean the O-line stinks. Like the design runs are going to be there, so yeah.
That's just an easy way to like not make your rookie quarterback like have to just be throwing the ball around like in the NFL, and like getting them eased into the game, like where it's not as stressful. Like that's just an easy way to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Final prop. I'm taking Joe Flacco under 38.5 rushing attempts, and I know what you guys are thinking, like
Rushing.
Oh no, passing.
Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco is running 39 times, dude,
yeah,
we could put a shot bet on that if you want.
I know what the viewers are thinking. You're like, oh, but they're big dogs. He had 45 passing attempts in both games. Like, dude, I do not care. Here's the thing: they can run the ball now with Quinshon Judkins. Honestly, dude, I wonder how many passing attempts Flacco had until the end of the game, which was still a close game. If they get blown out, I personally think that Flacco is going to get benched. I think that if they would have lost that game, there would have been serious discussions. Like, let's just because they won, let's not act like it was Flacco who won them the game. It was actually completely the defense. So yes, he's had a ton of attempts here. Here's another thing that I actually like here with this Flacco attempt under is that the Lions play a ton of man. They play a ton of single high. They are allowing the fourth highest deep throw rate. So it's not even like they're like going to make you dip and dunk. They're going to bring a lot of pressure. They are going to, be vulnerable to deep plays. Flacco likes to like air it out downfield and stuff. So if you get some like pass interferences, some chunk plays, like that's not good for like passing attempts, right? So I think that they're actually going to run the ball a little bit. I think that they're going to come out and like try to like trust their defense, run the ball and stuff. And then even if it does get ugly, like I think that it's going to be. I think there's a great chance that he literally just get benched. So for this to go over, in my opinion, and I know it sounds crazy saying that, like looking at how many attempts he's had so far this year, but in my opinion, for Flacco to go over this game, it will have to be the Browns will have to be like competitive enough, but the Lions will also have to like. I think the Lions are going to score regardless, even though this defense is good, just because they're at home. That's just like what they do. I think it will have to be like a shootout. They're going back and forth, and like the game's within reach in the fourth quarter, and Flacco's like already been airing it out and stuff. So I just think this is like a super high line. And just like I said, I think there's a ton of outs in this one. I think like you need a specific game script for him to go over this, like a very specific.
I love this bet. I might bet it myself because I agree it's ridiculously high, and I can tell you right now, as a Browns fan, that they don't want to be dropping Flacco back and throwing 39 times a game. They want to be a team who leans on their run game, leans on Quinshon Judkins and those young backs, and they want to play defense. Like that's what they want to do. Week 1, when he threw 45 times, they couldn't run the ball. Dylan Sampson was terrible. Jerome Ford was also terrible. And then you get to week 2 and you're down 41-10. You can't really run the ball then either. If the defense is keeping them in the games, like they're going to want to run the football. They're going to want to, play clock and not have Flacco launch the ball a ton. The one thing that I will say that just a little bit scares me is that their defense is so good at getting off the field that the Browns are running so many plays. And if that can come down to like the mean, then this is an amazing bet. I think they're running like 70 plays a game, which is just ridiculous, but
I think that if there's one team that can like kind of success rate you to death, it's like kind of Detroit, just like with like the run game and stuff. Like I said, I think that's good points too. But I want to see do you have any pass rate over expectation stuff where you can filter it by week?
Let me see.
Because I wonder what Cleveland's pass rate over expectation was in week 3. Because I'm trying to find that out right now. Season.
Yeah, let me see. I can pull it right now.
They're actually minus 0.5 in PROE on the year. That's actually crazy.
Cleveland was 8th, 15.2%
Over
over
in week 3. Damn, really?
in week 3.
Oh, jeez, that doesn't exactly support my bet. Oh, whatever.
Wait, no,
I still like it.
that wasn't pass rate over expectation. I lied. That was pressure rate over expectation.
Oh, okay. I'm bringing the heat.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, well,
I
anyway,
still think it's a good bet. I think they want to run the football.
yeah, she's locked in. You can't go back and change it. Well, guys, that's gonna do it. Make sure to go follow Joel on X at JG4President. Like I said, he's posting all his plays for free. Same with me. We're just two dudes who like to bet and hopefully can win you some money. I think we've done a pretty good job at making the people a little bit of change this year. So hopefully that can continue. I think that we have some pretty decent looks, but at the same time, I just know like one of these like terrible weeks is gonna come.
Oh yeah, for sure. It happens
like,
every time where you're just like down like 7 units and you're like staring at a wall.
And I'm really hoping it's not this week. I'm gonna, dude. If I come out and like wake up like at like 11 a.m. or something on Sunday and like Aaron Rodgers has like 5 touchdowns, and, that's gonna suck.
I don't know. I think that's past his time.
Yeah. Let's hope, dude. Anyways, Joel, is there anything you want to say before I head out?
No, I just appreciate you having me.
Yep, of course. Of course. Yeah, make sure to drop a like and sub if you're still here. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch you guys either tomorrow or on Monday morning for Monday Night Football.